everyone, I'm Joni, and this is Claire from the Yoga Chapel. Welcome to Yoga Basics Day 1. And I say Day 1 because we want to create a progression of sequencing. You'll notice the poses getting a little bit more intense, the balancing to be more intense, but we want to start really, really strong in our foundations so that this will take you into the future, also take you into your life. And that's kind of our goal for this whole sequence and this whole session. We're really excited to be right back onto our mat and helping guide you in this next couple of weeks and into the summertime. So Claire will be my kind of model because we're bubbled together. So I'm able to kind of direct you and show you her body as we move through sequence to sequence. We're going to start standing. Every session that we're going to do in the yoga base is going to start with a warm-up. A warm-up just like opens the joints, kind of allows the nervous system to start to awaken so that we're fresh to get right into the practice. As we kind of advance, as our practice gets a little stronger, sometimes the warm-ups are going to be a little shorter. For now, we're going to use a warm-up in our sequence so that we are like right into it and we can get right into our standing sequence. I'll take it to Claire.
Hi guys, welcome to the warm-up. Today we're going to do our palm standing warm-up. So let's stand in our Tadasana position, hip width distance apart, grounding into our feet. And just slowly closing the eyes, keeping a bounce into our knees, finding the left toe and the right toe, the sides of the feet and the heels, pushing them into the ground. Awesome. Keeping that grounding position with our legs, let's lift our hands all the way up, look up. Exhale our hands back to side of our body. 2 more just like that. Inhale our arms up. Exhale our hands to the side of our body. 1 more just like that. Inhale our arms up, look up. Exhale, release. Keeping our legs where they are. Let's lift our hands forward. Inhale up. Exhale down. 2 more. Our hands, palms facing our body. Inhale our arms up. Exhale down. 2 more. Awesome. Bringing our hands up and then swaying from side to side. Coming into one foot and the other, bending the knees. Back through center, arms into a T, and then bringing our arms into big circles in one direction. Keeping our feet planted on the ground, our knees soft, our belly button to spine. Trying not to push our chest forward. Back through center, and let's move through the opposite way. Great. Bring your hands to our hips. Let's work a little bit of our balance. Sean's going to be working on tree, so we're just going to lift our right foot off the ground. And then back down. And then our left foot off the ground and back down. And let's just do that a couple times, bringing our knees up. Great. Leaving your left leg up. Let's rotate through our left foot. One direction and then the opposite direction. Then move from our hip, rotating our hip in one direction and then the other direction. If you need to use the wall to keep you upright, do so. And let's use our whole leg. So scraping that cauldron in one direction and then the other direction. Wonderful. Drop that foot down and shake it out. Okay, let's move to our right leg. Bring your right leg up. Whoopsie. And then rotating through that ankle one way and then the opposite way. Move through our hip. Rotating through that hip one way. And then back, moving it in the opposite direction. And then our leg. Scraping that cauldron or that base in one direction, and then the opposite way. Wonderful. Bringing that down, shaking it out. Bring your feet about a little bit wider than hip width distance, and we're going to do our chimp bounces. Keeping our knees soft, Bouncing from foot to foot, up and down. Let's bring in our arms, bringing them up and down. And one more time. Bouncing. Maybe got some music on. Do we have music on? We can. Okay, wonderful. Shaking that out. And then Joan's going to get into the practice.
Thanks, Claire, for that. That was awesome. So that's the beginning workup for what we're going to move into, which is the standing poses. And basically, it's going to be Tadasana, tree position, and some side body stretching. So that's just start to give you an idea of where we're moving from. When we're talking about Tadasana, which means mountain pose, or Samasthiti, which means standing position or erect position, we're using that as our foundation for everything that we do. And when we talk standing, we're talking about locomotion forward, right? As we walk, we run, we jump, we lift, we're from a standing position. And so if we have our foundation strong, then everything else in our life is strong. Walking is more efficient, running is more efficient, we have less shin splints and less foot and ankle problems, and we can go longer in durations when we hike or when we cycle. So when we're talking of standing, and it's gonna sound really basic and it's gonna feel like nothing's really happening, over time, you're gonna be like, oh man, this is like everything you need in life, right? Locomotion, moving forward and moving backwards or moving side to side, starts from a standing position. So that's where we're starting. So let's grab your mat, if you're using your mat as kind of your island. You're gonna look down towards your feet, and we're gonna start hip-width distance apart. This will help balance for sure, and you'll see the difference when we close our feet together. Let's keep looking down to our feet to make a connection to our feet. Let's lift the toes, and then drop the toes. And when we lift the toes and hold the toes, you might even notice the knees or the kind of quads, the front of the legs slightly lift. And let's drop the knees, and maybe that softens the knees down. Everything is connected. Let's lift the toes and drop the toes down. Okay, let's roll the shoulders down and back. And roll another time down and back. And let's roll the shoulders forward and around and forward and around. I'm gonna tell Claire to turn to the side so she's facing me. Good, so now you can see her body. We're gonna really exaggerate our end ranges of slumping forward and pigeon chest, right? So when we come to full range of motion, when we see those ranges, we then start to understand where between those 2 points we want to live. Okay, so starting, let's do together, let's slump forward. But let's keep a smile on our face because we're not trying to bring in any negativity. We want to bring in some vitality. So keep that smile on your face as you pigeon your chest forward and pull the head back and the arms back. Let's slump forward. So almost like catting the spine. Notice how the knees kind of bend, the belly pulls in, the chest kind of pulls forward. And let's pigeon the chest, open the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. I'm popping my belly and pulling my bum back, kind of cowing the spine. One more set. Let's cat the spine, slump forward. And then let's pigeon or cow the spine. Open the chest. Good. So between those 2 points, I want you to start to notice your torso, so from shoulder to hip, kind of hang out in the middle. So not slumping and not pigeon chest, but between those two, so that we have a neutral position of the body. Good. Now we're going to work down. We're going to lay hands onto the hips. We're going to bend the knees, and then we're going to extend the knees back. So notice how that changes the pelvis. Bend the knees, pelvis slightly pulls forward, extend, and the pelvis pulls back. Let's do one more. Bend the knees, so there's your flexion, and then full extension for the knees. Now I want you to between the two of them. So there's kind of bounciness or springiness to the knees. Even go back and forth, and notice if we bring a little bit of knee bend, there's some cushioning in our stance. Okay, let's come back to center. Remember, we're not losing our pigeon or not coming into our slump. We're neutral. We're not going to be extending or flexing the knee. We're going to be neutral. And then let's rest the hands beside the body. Let's close the eyes, tune into our feet. Now, when we tune into our feet and we close our eyes, immediately the body might start to sway back and forth. And that's good. I want you to go with that. It's just allowing the body to notice where your center of gravity is. And I want you to push and lean into that, swaying back and forth. So let's bring all the weight to our heels, almost to where the toes lift. And let's sway, let's come forward, bring all the weight into the toes, almost the heels lift. And we'll do a couple more of that. So lift the toes, come forward into the toes, lift the heels. Heels, lift toes, toes, lift heels. Good. So between those 2 points now, we want to be solid between the 4 corners of our feet, right? The toe mound, baby toe mound, inside and outside of the heel. Okay, so now the standing position is getting a little bit more complicated. We don't want to be pigeon. We don't want to be slumped. We want to be in neutral. We don't want to be flexed. We don't want to be extended to the knees. We want to be springy in the knees. We want to be back and forth, so center in line with the feet. Hands are soft beside the body. Take a breath in. Take a long breath out. And if you close your eyes now, you might notice the body lean to one side or to the other. Now let's exaggerate. Let's bring all the weight into the left foot. Let's come through center, bring all your foot weight into the right foot. Let's come through center, all the weight into the left foot. Center, all the weight into the right foot. Good. Let's come back to center so that we're evenly weighted through both feet. Notice if your pelvis has come out of shape, we want the bum to slide and glide down. We want there to be a slight flexion in the knees. Soft through the spine, shoulders away from the ears. We'll get there. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Okay, let's work up to the shoulders. Let's shrug the shoulders all the way up. Let's drop the shoulders all the way down. Really exaggerate. Lift the shrug, 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 and then pull away from the ears. Let's do that one more time. Shrug up and pull down. Okay, between those 2 points is where we want the shoulder blades to rest gently on the back. So if I had Claire show you, if you're staring at the camera, she's going to turn to face the back of the room. Notice the shoulder blades. Let's shrug all the way up. Shoulder blades lift up. Let's shrug all the way down. They pull all the way down, pushes the chest forward. And then here we shrug up. We pull all the way down. Good. And let's come back to neutral. So neutral is allowing them to rest gently onto the ribs. Good. Let's turn Claire back to the side view. And so there we've added onto the shoulders. So now we turn into our legs, even if you have to go through it. Equal weight through the feet, softly spongy through the knees. Pelvis is pulling down towards the ground. The chest is resting neutral, shoulders out of the ears, hands drop heavy beside the body, and the palms face forward. Good. If you close your eyes, you might notice that you're starting to come into that equilibrium. The breath gets a little easier in and out through the nose or the mouth. Okay, now it's the chin. This is the hardest part because we can't really notice our head in space. We're going to pull the chin all the way up towards the ceiling and exhale, pull the chin all the way down towards the chest. Good, lift the chin all the way up. So your end range of motion. Exhale, pull the chin towards the chest. One more time. So the chin pulls all the way up and the chin pulls all the way to the chest. Good. So between those 2 points, you're going to have this equal or this parallel line of jaw to chin facing the ground. Good, right? So the shoulders are now soft, the pelvis is neutral, the knees are slightly spongy. Good. Equal weight through both feet. Good. Our spine is neutral. If I just come in, we're not pigeoning the chest, we're not slumping the shoulders, we're standing really tall. So standing, there's a lot to it, right? Last thing, there's a lot to it. Last thing is we want our chin in the proper place to our spine. So we're going to do the chicken beak forward, and we're going to do the double chin back. And chicken feet, chicken chin forward, and then double chin back. And let's do that one more time. So
both of these are really hot.
Yeah, really hot. And then pull and double chin. So between those 2 points, again, so we notice the range of motion. You're getting to notice that feeling. We want to be right into neutral. Like I have a string on the top of Claire's head, and I'm going to pull that spring or that string really high. She's going to ground through her feet, and then we're going to go through the whole thing together, right back into standing position. Yeah, you want to shake it out first? Let's shake it out. So let's shake out the arms and the legs, because that's a lot of information that we're trying to do. Okay, let's come back to the top of our mat.
Coming to the side.
Notice your feet. Good. Let's notice our feet hip width distance apart as we first start in this first one. Good. And let's go through it. Close the eyes or allow the eyes to be soft. Okay, so let's relax the shoulders down. Let's start there. Arms are beside the body, palms face forward. Notice the chin is parallel to the ground. Let's soften the knees, let them be spongy. Notice your weight equal on both sides of the feet. Lift the toes, drop the toes down. Push and drive through the heels so that you're even across the sole of your foot. Good. Pelvis is rooting down towards the floor. There's a slight grip of the bum. Soft through the knees and the quads. Good. Pigeon the chest. Slump the chest. Come through neutral. Good. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. We're going to hold for my breaths. I want you to imagine that string pulling from your head as you pull another string right through the feet. So you're trying to lengthen the body. You're trying to lengthen and build more space through the vertebrae, right? It's all about the spine. See if you can expand and contract the belly. And what I notice when I come into this really good alignment of our mountain position, that the breath is just there for you. It kind of just pops and opens up. Good. And let's do one more exhale. Notice how you feel in that standing position. Let's bring the toes together. Let's bring the hands to the heart center. So a different version of mountain position. Let's bow gently to our fingertips to find that stretch through the back of the neck. You're pushing gently the thumbs towards the chest. We're softening through the knees, spreading through the toes. Good, looking forward, hands to the hips. Let's take the toes slightly apart. Let's turn the toes out towards the right. Let's bring the right ankle or right heel on top of or beside the left ankle. We want to squeeze the foot into the ankle and the ankle into the foot. This is going to charge up our core, keeping the pelvis straight so the hip bones are straight, just like Tadasana. Remember that softening through the spine. Trying to balance through the body, arms beside us. Now we're spreading deeper through the left foot. We have the right toes down. Good. We're just going to practice the arms lift forward. Let's grab opposite elbows or elbows. Pull the elbows in line with shoulders. Draw the belly in. Let's straighten the arms forward. Lift the arms all the way up without lifting or pigeoning the chest, right? Pigeoning the chest would look like this. We want to close the ribs, use the core, right? Tadasana and tree position is a lot of core position, more than you'd think. Let's drop the arms in line with the shoulders. Good. Let's bring the hands at the center line of the chest. Let's pull the right knee forward and drop the right foot down. So when we plant the right foot down, let's come right into the other side, hand onto the hips, turn the left knee out, push the left heel like it's puzzling or magneting towards the inside. Magneting, new word, pushing into the right inside heel. This is key because there's a squeeze, and that little squeeze kind of signals for the legs to fire up, and that's what we want to happen. Spread through the right toes. Let's bring the hands to heart center, right? So we're looking for that balance line. We're looking for our Tadasana soft, the bum pushing down towards the floor, right? We're drawing in towards the inside of the quads. We're softening through the ribs, the shoulders. We're pushing against the hands. Good. And it's all about that spread of that right foot. Spread the toes wide like they want to tentacle out. Okay, let's use the arms. Let's take the arms forward. So we're pulling away from our body, challenging our balance. See if we can grab opposite elbows. So take that wrist forward. Pull the shoulders off of the back and then down through the ribs. So feel the pull of the belly up and in if you can. Keep pushing the heel against the inside of the ankle. Let's take the arms long in front of you, palms face down. Good. Now slowly keeping the ribs pulling in, let's lift the arms up. So we don't pigeon the chest. We roll the shoulders away from the ears. It's a lot harder than you think. And you don't have to go super high. So if your range of motion is here and you can't get there without really pigeoning the chest, this is where your arms are going to rest. This is the key. This is why we talk about vitality and movement of yoga. This is where we're at. Good. And you're going to pull the hands together. You're going to bring the hands to the center line of the chest, push against the chest, take a breath in. Take a breath out. Good. Pull the left knee forward, drop the left foot down, toes together, heels slightly apart. Nice. Side body stretch. Bring the right hand onto the hip, lift the left arm all the way up. Take a breath in to reach, not pigeoning the chest. Let's keep that scoop of the belly in. Exhale up and over towards the right. Use the right hand to kick the left hip to the left. Now what you might notice is that you're twisting towards the right to get it, or you're twisting open to the left. We're going to try to stay in line with our body. So if I turn Claire to face you from the side, we don't want to lose that shoulder. The shoulder pulls in line with each other. There's that pull of the belly in, softening through the knees. Yeah, so there's a thing that Claire needs to work on. And then the left hip comes towards you. Nice. So there's this nice curve of the body all the way through. Okay, let's slowly come all the way up. Let's pull up and exhale, hands to the center line of the chest. Let's come right into the other side. So let me show you from this side. So I'm going to soften my bum down. Let's sweep the right arm all the way up. You're going to use the left hand to kick the hip towards the right. You're going to keep the body in line as you reach up and over. Remember, the shoulders want to get involved. Keep the shoulders down and back, way away from the ears. And it's almost I'm taking your wrist and reaching up and over. Keep that shoulder down, keep the ribs down, keep the hips in line with the shoulders, push into the feet, and then take that inhale to come all the way up. Exhale, hands to the center line of the chest. Take a breath in and a long breath out. Let's drop our hands beside the body. Let's bring the toes together, heels slightly apart. So like I said in the beginning, when our feet are a bit wider apart, it helps with balance. Let's end Tadasana here with our feet a little bit closer together. Let's drop the arms beside the body. Let's soften the knees, lift the toes, find the four corners of the feet planted. Pull the belly or the bum towards the floor. Let's soften the toes so we can root across the ground. Let's pigeon our chest forward. Let's slump our chest in. Let's find neutral. Let's tilt the pelvis back, tilt the pelvis forward, find neutral. Keeping the arms dropping down, shoulders away from the ears. Let's shrug the shoulders up, shrug the shoulders down. Find neutral. Let's pull the chin forward, double chin, chin back. Find that straight line. Soften the knees if they become extended. Let's lift the chin. Let's tuck the chin in. Come to that parallel line. And then as we kind of scan the body, notice where we're creating any tension. If we're swaying back and forth, let's find kind of that balance between our front foot and our back of our foot. It's slightly squeeze the bum so we activate the pelvic floor. Even squeeze the anus slightly together, that might help. Good. The hands kind of rest, almost feeling weighted beside the body. And then it's all about the breath pulling deep into the base of the lungs and the exhale drawing towards the back of the pelvis. Let's bring the hands to the center line of the chest. Bow gently to your body, to your mountain position, your standing position. Let's slowly come on to the floor. We'll meet at the floor.
Closing your eyes, just tuning in to your body. All that standing work vibrating through you. Moving flush the bum back to sit on those sit bones. And then slowly making circles with your body. Keeping your spine erect, your chin in line, just like Tadasana on the top half of your body. Pausing through center and rotating in the opposite direction. Pause through center. I'm going to do 3 belly rolls to the right and then 3 to the left. So we inhale our chest forward. Exhale, bringing our spine back. And 2 more to the right, inhaling forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, forward. Exhale, round. Come back to center and just sway from side to side. And then let's do 3 to the left. Inhaling the forward, exhaling back. Coming back to neutral, swaying from side to side. Let's do 3 rounds of cat-cow seated. Bring your hands around our knees. Inhale, pushing our hands into our knees, lifting our chest, lifting our gaze. Exhale, pulling inwards, dropping your head heavy, rounding those shoulders, rounding the back. 2 more just like that. Inhale, forward. Exhale, round. Back to center and swaying from side to side. So we're going to come into a little bit of meditation. I'm going to read a little bit of our myth about mountain pose. So keeping your eyes closed, breathing in and out through the nose or the mouth, finding a relaxing spot. I want you to imagine a beautiful mountain, its base grounded and rooted into the earth. Bring in the quality of strength, stillness, and the earth energy. Breathe in and out, and each breath grounding you deeper and deeper. Now imagine the top of your mountain. Maybe it has snow, or it's in the clouds. Bring in the qualities of lightness, freedom, and awareness. Breathe in and expand your gaze, looking out into the big picture. Taking 3 long breaths, in and out through the nose or the mouth. And when we end this practice today, learning about Tadasana or mountain pose, taking with us the qualities of mountain throughout our day or night. This idea that we can connect to the earth as well as the heavens. We can be still and silent. We can be strong. We can be light and aware, giving us the duality of ourselves. Bring our left hand onto our heart and our right onto our left. Thank you so much for practicing with us today. From my strength to your strength, from our mountains to yours. Have a beautiful rest of your day or night. Namaste.